Hi, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I am Gray, and today we are going to be talking about something a little bit different, not a subscription service, and also not a recipe, but it is food related. So, sometime last year, I decided to go gluten-free because I've noticed that I've had a lot of discomfort when eating gluten-containing foods like pasta, bread, etc. This last couple of weeks, I've had some weird allergic reactions to things I didn't think I had reactions to. So, what better thing to do than to take to the web and see about some food sensitivity tests? Yes, we are going to be checking out the food sensitivity test by Everlywell that comes in a kit like this. Before we get started, as a friendly reminder, if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do click that button. It is totally free for you. It really helps out my channel as we continue to bring new reviews your way. Second of all, I am bringing this review from the perspective of someone who is very skeptical. Last year, I spent way too much money going from doctor to doctor trying to narrow down what is going on with my digestive system without getting into too much detail. It all started stemming from gluten intolerance and understanding what the heck was going on. Did I really get to the bottom of everything? No. Was I extremely upset about how much money was spent? That was luckily a good portion of it was covered by my insurance, but still, I don't think anyone likes owing money, especially when you were told that it will be covered. So, this Everlywell food sensitivity test, we are going in with skepticism. I've watched reviews about it. I have seen some more medical type of reviews about it, but this was covered by my flexible spending account, so I didn't actually see any money going out of my account, so I figured why not give it a try. Perhaps this can answer some questions. Perhaps this could lead me on a path of asking the right questions if I bring this up to a doctor. So, for this review, I will be showing the entire process. I will show you how the test is done. I'll show you after the results are in. So today is February 28th, the last day of February, and this will be shipped off tomorrow. Luckily, my husband has access to the mailroom, and I don't have to walk to another mailbox, which is great. So we will get this sent off. According to this, we'll be able to see what kind of food sensitivities I may have, whether they are normal or high, etc. So let's actually take a look at what is inside this box. According to this, it'll say, learn your reactivity to 96 common foods that may be causing discomfort. We'll see what that's actually like. So how it works, we collect a sample at home, send to a CLIA certified lab, receive digital results, and take the next steps. And according to this, what is measured is IgC reactivity to 96 foods, eggs, seafood, spices, vegetables, meat, dairy, legumes, grains, seeds, and nuts and fruits. And the collection is done by a finger prick sample. So we'll see. We'll see. Let's get started. So when we open this up, here is what we have. Everlywell, a better and brighter year awaits. Congratulations on giving yourself more opportunities to achieve your health and wellness goals. We're dedicated to helping you learn more about your well-being with an at-home lab testing backed by science. Again, I have seen quite a bit of reviews, so the whole science part, I feel like that may be quite a selling point to people. Oh, doctors looked at it, but then again, doctors tend to look at a lot of stuff, so I don't know, I'm not a doctor. So this test is actually registered online, so we'll go through that process as well. To get started, register your kit online using your unique ID kit do not send in your sample until you activate your kit. So let's actually go through this, and then I'll be able to complete this and actually walk us through the process online. I'll do a screen sharing. I'll do a screen sharing type of footage for you guys to show you how it all comes together. So we have our instructions. It shows what is included in the kit. Right. What's next? Once your kit is received, the lab will process your sample, assuming it passes all quality checks. We'll contact you if there are any issues. So if I remember correctly, this kit was on sale, and I ended up purchasing using my flexible spending card that I get through the benefits at work, and it was probably around $100 or $120, $130 after tax. So I mean, we'll see. It's like the COVID test. The rapid tests, they can come back, you know, positive or negative, but there's always a chance that it come back as a false negative. We're not gonna get into that, but let's see our instructions. We have our kit. We'll see what is included. Alcohol prep pad, collection card, lancets, biohazard bag, gauze pad, bandage, a return envelope, and a return label. Great, I don't have to pay for that. So, I mean, the packaging is nice. It's like, yeah, you're about to prick your finger. It's so cool, yeah. Looks like this entire part comes out. We have our prepaid labels. Set that aside. Alright, so we have our little kit here. We have the lancets. Grab those. I've never done one of these tests. Alright, we got the alcohol prep pad. We have the gauze. How much are they expecting from this? Alright, and this is the collection cards. So there is a barcode on there, so I'll keep that covered, obviously, for privacy reasons. And this is the actual collection card. Looks like they need samples from there. So I'm going to put my name, the collection date being today, and then my date of birth. And then it's going to be going in this little biohazard bag. How fun. All right. All right. We're done. Bandage is done. These are done. These are done. Okay. So we're gonna put in our information. All right. For quick flash, it's done. It happened. Tuck cover here. Okay. Tuck the cover. Alright. Cover is tucked. Alright. Do not use if damaged. It was fine. Overall, the process was pretty simple. I did have to use the two, like, lancet thingies to prick my finger. I didn't, run my hands under hot water. I just washed them. Maybe it wasn't warm enough, but I got the samples that were needed. So then the next step is to put this as per our instructions. Check the card and clean up. Make sure each circle is fully filled and that blood soaks through the back of the card. I'm guessing it did because you can kind of see like an indent. You see that? Apply bandage. I did it. Return instructions. Double check your registered kit. Yep, I have my name. Once the sample is dry, put it inside the biohazard bag and place it inside. Oh god, I hope it was dry enough. Comes in a nice little envelope. All right. Let me make sure before I seal it that my code here is all I need. All right. So I'll go ahead and just double check here in the next step. So right now we're gonna log on and see how to register our kit. So stay tuned. Okay, once we enter in our login, which in this case, because I ordered the kit, I didn't have a login. I just made one now. This brings me over to the actual kit registration kit. So I'll go ahead and enter in my information. Okay, blurred out we have the test kit information. It just asks for your shipping address and then confirming when the actual test was taken, and of course just reading and accepting the HIPAA and telehealth registration and authorizations. And then we'll go ahead and submit it. That's it. Okay, so our test is now registered. I'm ready to seal this up and have this ready to be sent off tomorrow. I signed up for the real tracking of the test once it's received, and then we'll be able to go over the results once they are available for me online, and we'll be able to finish up this video. So, see you in the future. Welcome back. It is magically 1 week after we recorded the first portion of this video where we actually went through doing the test for food sensitivity with Everlywell. On Monday, so today, March 7th, I received a notification that my results are ready online. So I'm going to switch over to my computer here so we can go over what these results look like and my thoughts on them. I did have a chance to review them this morning just to kind of get an idea, and the results were as expected. So I'll be able to go over that, but let's actually see the results, shall we? All right, so the results we received came by mail at about 1 in the morning or so, and I was told my results are ready. It's that time, view a personalized digital report tailored to you. When we click into that, we're brought to our profile where we submitted our information. Next, we can actually view the results. You can see the results were released 19 hours ago. Once the results are loaded, we can actually view them. So as we see here, hi Olga, your food sensitivity test is complete. The test showed an IgG reactivity above normal to 4 foods. Foods in the high, moderate, or mild reactivity range are good candidates for an elimination diet to help identify your food sensitivities. After reviewing your results, join a live webinar and get your questions answered by a healthcare professional. That's pretty cool. We'll see what types of foods I am showing sensitivity for or reactivity for. So, I was curious about gluten, but I knew that nothing would show up, and I'll explain why. So, the sample that you are providing with the test, the droplets of blood, they test antibodies in your system with that sample against the allergens or the foods you may be showing reactivity for. So if we scroll down here, you can see what is the difference between a food sensitivity and a food reactivity. Reactivity levels are a valuable clue to your food sensitivities, but not all foods with elevated reactivity will cause symptoms. The only way to confirm a sensitivity is to complete a 2-part elimination diet, which often happens when you're dealing with allergies. You may start doing eliminations to see how your body does when actually removing the food that you may be sensitive to. So, by default, they show which foods are you're potentially reactive to based off of the test, or you can group by food, which is going to be the entire list. So down here, I don't have any high reactivity, cool. Moderate reactivity, I have 3 foods, and that is cow's milk, mozzarella, and yogurt. I mean, sure, I definitely seem to have some sort of reaction to milk, dairy, that sort. So let's see, with cow's milk, higher reactivity, and it also gives you a little bit more detail about cow's milk. Heads up, this doesn't mean you're lactose intolerant, just that you may have a sensitivity to cow's milk. IgG bodies react only to proteins, and intolerance to lactose, a sugar, can't be diagnosed by this test. They're very good about saying that. Same thing with celiac disease. They won't say, hey, this is going to help diagnose celiac disease. You can't do that. And I'll explain why once we actually get to the gluten. So next we have mild reactivity foods, and I have egg whites. Why not the whole egg? The egg white and egg yolk have different protein structures, and your IgG antibodies may react to one but not the other. Okay. And then this also shows like hidden sources, meringue powder, surimi, egg substitute, marzipan, marshmallows, nougat, custard, souffles, etc., etc. It basically shows you where these foods can be found in other places aside from saying egg whites in, specifically. And then for normal reactivity, we have the remaining 92 normal reactivity foods. That's not bad. So if you actually click into here, it'll pull up all the different foods and everything that you had a normal reactivity for. Almonds, asparagus, avocado, baker's yeast, banana, basil, blueberry, bran, brewer's yeast. So I actually looked it up, and they have chia seeds here, which I thought I had some sort of allergic reaction to. Like I said, I'm dealing with my own stuff that I'm trying to figure out what's going on, So I was surprised to see there was very little reactivity here, so I may just have to keep digging. Or it may not be measuring what a high enough level for me to have it detected. It really, this is where an issue happens with these types of tests, honestly. Unfortunately. So next up we have chicken, normal reactivity, codfish, coffee, cola, corn. I don't think I ever even consumed cola. Cucumber, dill, egg yolk, etc. Let's see. Here's the one that I had a question on. So I have been gluten-free for a year now. When I started, I had a reaction to something that I thought was gluten, that perhaps I had consumed something. So I made an appointment with my primary care physician and said, hey, let's actually do this gluten intolerance test. It was a blood test. They took, I don't know how many vials of blood to test it, and it came back with me having 0 intolerance. Keep in mind, this was a blood sample. Blood circulates. And I was gluten-free for, at that point, well over a month, if not more. So any type of antibodies dealing with gluten would not be present. So that was a wasted test. Okay. Moving on to the item in question, which would be gluten. There you go. 2, normal reactivity. Hidden sources, sauces, gravies, marinades. I have been very careful about consuming anything that contains gluten. I don't even work with things that touch gluten anymore. So the fact that this says normal reactivity makes sense to me, because how would it have picked anything up if it wasn't even in my system? Right? At least that's the way I see it. After a while, you kind of learn what your body's doing. So this test may be very helpful. I agree that I do have reactivity for sure with cow's milk and some cheeses. I get a stomach ache. I get uncomfortable. I don't think I'm lactose intolerant, but I can tell that my body doesn't deal with it as well as I would like. So this is where that kind of comes in, because tests like this should not be used as a defining factor of what you can and cannot eat, unfortunately. It just won't work like that. So the best way is to look at this as an example of perhaps some things you may start to use for an elimination diet, but I don't think this should be something that says you're allergic. Exactly, this is a food sensitivity test, not an allergy test. For example, celiac disease and gluten intolerance, the best way to determine if you actually have celiac disease or a diagnosed gluten intolerance is if you actually go see a gastroenterologist. And that's okay. But if you know your body well enough where you know, if I eat these things, I won't feel good, just continue what you're doing. So let's finish up here, and then we'll kind of go over what else I think about this test and would I recommend it. So we took a look at the results that we received from Everlywell on our food sensitivity test, and I do have some thoughts. Before I purchased this test using my flexible spending card, yay benefits, I did actually look this up. The reviews were not all that great, and I did go into this knowing that I may discover some things, but also I have to keep in mind the experience that I went through when I actually did the test through my primary care physician for gluten intolerance, and it came back as not reactive. So, well, if I eat pasta and bread, then why do I feel so sick? Who knows? I have been gluten-free for over a year now, and I have felt so much better, which is what we want, right? When you eat food, you should feel good, not sick and bloated and gross. So, if you are considering taking the Everlywell test, take your time with it in terms of considering it. If you have, a couple bucks laying around with your flexible spending left over at the end of the year, do it. I mean, it's good to see what it can pick up. However, this should not be your defining test that tells you if you are allergic to something or not. This may be a decent stepping stone in your allergen defining journey. This could be a step. This could be something that you can take to your doctor. Keep in mind that in order for some things to show up on this test as, I wouldn't call it accurate, but reflective of these antibodies, this stuff would have to be in your system to a point. So I'm curious how they actually test all 96 things if I haven't had cola, or I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I don't know exactly, but from my experience with taking a food sensitivity test in the past, I knew that what I feel may not be showing up. So there were some things that did make sense to me, but other than that, I'm not going to take this and wave this around and say, I can't have cow's milk because this test told me not to. Then again, it's like me with cheese, doesn't matter, I'm just gonna keep eating it, right? It's just those little things. So that is my view on Everlywell. If you want to have a glimpse into what you may be sensitive to, give it a try. Just don't let it be the defining factor of you determining, hey, I am allergic to this, this, and this because I took this test. If you really want to get to the bottom of food sensitivity and food allergies, go to a specialist, I would say, just to really get the best instructions. Because, for example, like the gluten intolerance test I had, the best way to see my levels of intolerance would be if I was actively consuming gluten on an almost daily basis, so that antibody, all that gluten would be in my body at the time of the test. So that is my report on Everlywell. Would I give it a try again? Perhaps not this one, but I would like to see what other tests they have. So maybe next year when I have a couple extra dollars laying around in my flexible spending, I would love to give it a try. Okay, well, that brings me to the end of today's review. If you like these kinds of videos and reviews, feel free to leave a comment and don't forget to like the video as well. And of course, if you would love to see more content from me, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It is totally free for you and it helps me out a great deal. Alright, well, until next time, I hope to see you again, and don't forget to stay gray-mazing. Bye, guys!